Hey team, I just wanted to reach out to everybody first of all and say thank you for all your support during the pandemic. Wanted to give you an update on some crazy shit that's happening if you're a business owner and what we're all facing in the community and what I see is going to be happening in the next several months. So here we go. So for one, it's the best of times and the worst of times. Right now, it's the best of times because if you're one of the few restaurants that's been able to stay open, that actually can keep your doors open, we went from a situation where a decent store would do $40,000 a month to now we're doing $80,000 a month in revenue in some of our stores. So that's really, really good. As a result of that, we've been able to give our employees hazard pay, bonuses, retro pay. We're doing a lot of things to make them feel value and to really spread some of that optimism that's happening with the pandemic. All right, so the worst of times. Fuck. Pardon my language, not really, but so we're dealing with a lot of I almost want to say post-traumatic stress disorders on a lot of our team. And, there's a lot of entitlement that's happening. And when I say entitlement, it's things like, we have employees where their friends are collecting unemployment and they're not able to collect unemployment because they're working. We have a situation where the friends have to leave. They have to go back to California or North Carolina because mom and dad that were making their rent payment are now laid off, and now they're not working, and now the kids have to go home, and so they don't have anywhere to stay. We have employees that with cabin fever are getting pregnant, which is great. That's fine. We'll support them, but they don't have the support in order to figure out how to deal with that major life change. Employee retention has been at an all-time worst in keeping and retaining talent. And in most cases, it has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with Kiva Juice. It's just all of the life issues that our team is dealing with, and they don't know how to really cope with it. 25% of our staff alleged that they had COVID-19. 25%. Out of those, 9 never got tested. They would not get tested. And because they wouldn't get tested, we mandated that they get tested because they were telling us that they had the COVID-19 symptoms. There's a very specific policy and procedure for the health department that we have to follow. There are rules to keep our employees and our customers safe. Would not get tested, and so they quit. Yeah. And then they filed unemployment against us. Yeah. And then we had several other employees that went and actually got tested, all negative. All the tests were negative. And, most of the cases where they had COVID-19 were, things like Memorial Day weekend, the holidays, 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everybody's going to the beach type of thing. So that's crazy. All right. So next issue, don't get me started on frickin' supply chain issues. Fuck, man. I mean, so now we're open. We're doing decent business. We can't keep staff. And so now we got the supply chain issues. So things like, we can't get peaches. We can't get peaches because there's not enough workers to pick the crops, to harvest the crops. So have a shortage on peaches, and we're looking all over the country on how to get things like peaches. And everybody that is an environmentalist that wants a reusable cup, well, now it's all carry out, right? So now everything's disposable. And so the little plastic beads that they use to make the cups, the to-go cups are in short supply. Why? Because there's 100,000 restaurants that all of a sudden, within a matter of a week, are doing to-go orders, and now we can't get cups. So, we're shifting out around different suppliers, and we have most of that under control. but supply chain's a major issue. The factories that make some of our carry-out goods, like our protein brownies, which are made out of New York City, those facilities are all shut down. There's shortages on flour. There's shortages on specific type of juices. So we're having to press more of our juices. And so, working 50, 60, 70 hours a week on the phone with suppliers, stabilizing our supply chain. This is a day in the life. All right, then you have all of the government mandates, all of the Washoe County Health Department mandates, all of the signage, all of the social distancing. The governor announced that, if you're going to be in public, you have to wear a mask. So, teaching a 16, 17, 18-year-old employee that's never having to have given a customer, let alone a citizen of the United States, feedback on wearing a mask. Hey, this is the mandate. You've got to wear a mask. And having them leave the store. Our employees are not police. They're not trained to enforce the law, and people are sensitive, man, super sensitive. Some people don't want to wear a mask, others don't. And, yes, it's the responsibility. We're all supposed to wear masks, but you have to understand that, training all of your employees in all of your locations to have a white glove approach, a very soft approach to taking care of those customers and being empathetic. It's difficult, but we get through it. And our team that we have has been incredible. I mean, we would not be where we're at with incredible team members that we have, Morgan, Hope, Ashley, Taylin, Kelton, Carson, Rianne, Brianna. The list goes on and on and on. We have some incredible team members. And just remember, when you're out there in the public, they're working their butts off for you. They're doing the best that they can. And, we're doing the best we can. And then on top of all of that, you're really managing all of the innovation that you're putting into your business. And so anybody that has a business, and especially a restaurant right now, there's been an incredible amount of innovation, literally in a period of 2 weeks. Revamps to the website, revamps to the point of sale system, revamps to the app. Like, all the software has to be rewritten. All of the cash procedures have to be written. Delivery procedures. We've had to buy new equipment because we're doing so many deliveries. We've had to buy carry-out freezers in our stores so that we can blast freezers so that we can keep the items cold, so that they're efficient, so that when the delivery drivers pick them up, they get to the customer's house, and the quality is just absolutely incredible. So we have that investment going on. So at the end of the day, for myself, and I'll speak for Jennifer, I don't think I'd have it any other way. And the reason for this is that we're all in this together. We really are all in this together. In the next 3 to 8 months, you heard it from me first. I see that things are going to get worse. I see that as the unemployment mechanism. If there's not another stimulus as unemployment runs out, there's so many businesses that are closing. I anticipate between 15 and 25% of businesses will close. You've seen the Microsoft store today is closing down all of its stores. GNC is filing for bankruptcy. There's a lot of bankruptcies that are happening right now. Chapter 13 and Chapter 11 bankruptcy, if you're familiar with that, everybody's getting their gun loaded. They're talking to these bankruptcy attorneys because they're preparing for what could inevitably be a ruthless downturn. And if employers don't have employees because of entitlement, because of unemployment, what is going to happen is when unemployment runs out, nobody's going to have a job to go back to. There ain't going to be no job. And it's going to be this death spiral effect where you're going to see the money the money dry up, because any business can be successful when you pump $3 trillion into the economy. I mean, let's face it, there's people out there making $4,000 a month on unemployment. And you know what? In many cases, it's justified. I'm happy. Let's keep people going. It's very, very important that we keep the economy. So I think the question on everybody's mind is, what happens when the money runs out? For me and everybody that's out there supporting small businesses, the little guy, even if it's a candle, keep the economy going. Let's keep people working and support each other. And that's why, we've gotten involved in organizations such as Nevada HIP, and we've got involved in, some different hospitality programs to support workers. But again, I just want to thank everybody for listening. And if you have any comments, please comment. I'd love to hear any feedback.